Hello everyone. Today I would like to share my story. I'm a 40-year-old male and my wife Miley is a 38-year-old female. We got married 5 years ago. We initially met at the wedding of my friend Noah, where I went as the groomsman and she participated as a bridesmaid. Miley was wearing a green maxi dress and her confidence captivated me. During the ceremony, I accidentally spilled the cocktails on myself while looking at her. She noticed and we both laughed out loud. Before she helped me clean my shirt, she noticed I was attracted to her, but I was too hesitant to approach her. So she made the first move by trying to chat with me. She was so laid back and gorgeous. I didn't think it was possible to fall in love at first sight, but after meeting Miley, I did. Miley invited me to meet her parents after we started dating following Noah's wedding and decided we wanted to be married. Miley's father had problems with our relationship because he wanted his daughter to marry a wealthy businessman, while I was sitting in their house. This man had the nerve to refer to me as an average man. He insulted me and said, "I don't want my daughter to marry a man who makes pennies when my daughter looks like a Hollywood actress." Despite the fact that I was a brand manager at a marketing agency and making enough money, I was outraged and told him he was a shallow man since this man was so narcissistic. Miley handled the situation well, standing by me and calling out her father. She left her parents' house with me, and a week later we planned a small ceremony and got married. I was really happy to have such a supportive wife, especially since Miley only invited her mom and didn't invite her dad. Our first year of marriage was wonderful. However, as time went on, I realized Miley shared traits with her father as well. Her parents had spoiled her with love, and she routinely demanded to be treated like a princess. She would label any disagreement I had with her as a dispute since she expected me to comply with all of her demands without question. We were purchasing furniture for our home, and she didn't appreciate my opinions. My suggestions were ignored, and when I informed her I preferred white sofas over the green, she made a huge deal out of it. She had a tendency to become upset and throw tantrums about seemingly insignificant things. Once, when I accidentally bought chocolate ice cream instead of her favorite blueberry flavor, she sobbed uncontrollably. She was not used to hearing no in her life. She had no job or career, and the majority of her time was spent socializing with friends and shopping. I realized she was her father's daughter, but I was not ready to give in or obey her orders blindly. I had made it clear that we were a married couple and that I had every right to express my opinions, and that she needed to act maturely if we were going to have a successful marriage, or else this marriage couldn't work. Miley was shocked to hear this because she had never heard the word no. She sobbed and made a commitment to change her behavior. She wasn't used to this, but she was making an effort because she claimed she loved me deeply. I was willing to give her a chance because I loved her too, and I knew her father was to blame for her spoilt behavior. Miley was taking small steps to show that she was trying to be patient and good to me. She had gotten a part-time job and enrolled in a course instead of hanging out with her friends every day. She simply came with me to see our mutual friends Noah and his wife Emily. Emily was my wife's childhood friend, but she was the polar opposite of her. She was a very calm, mature, and intelligent woman, and Noah was my best friend, and we were working on business ideas, so we visited each other frequently. After our persistent hard work, Noah and I launched our product and began earning well. We had relocated from tiny apartments to large houses after learning about it. My father-in feelings laws for me softened due to my achievement, and he began phoning me for small talk. I never wanted to go to his calls, but Emily and Noah urged me to do so because they wanted me to let the past go and forgive him. I did, and I invited my in-laws to our new house. He came and was shocked to witness our luxurious lifestyle because he hadn't expected me to succeed, but it was his bad behavior that made me want to be wealthy. And it was his bad behavior with me was the fuel that pushed me to work day and night, to see me succeed. He was pressuring Miley and me to have children. The man who didn't want his daughter to marry me suddenly wanted us to have children. I didn't want him to intrude in our lives, so I kept a reasonable distance from him. But last year on Christmas, Miley's parents insisted that we host a large Christmas dinner at our home, and I invited Noah and his family as well as my parents and brothers. Miley's parents urged me to invite their friends and relatives as well because their friends were not present at our wedding and they wanted to introduce their son-in-law to their acquaintances. But deep down they just wanted to display their acquaintance to my big house and wealth. I refused to invite as many people, but she did invite a couple of her parents' friends and relatives. On the evening of the Christmas dinner party, my parents and Noah's family were dressed casually but appropriately for the occasion. However, I was shocked to see Miley's family dressed so formally and fancy as if they were attending a wedding. Friends and family of my in-laws were dancing and using my place as if it were their own home. Miley was wearing a short black dress, and everyone was dancing and drinking in the living room and our garden, making my house look like a bar. Christmas dinner had always been a quiet family gathering for us since my parents are pretty simple people and they had left my house early when they saw it turning into a disco. My father-in-law was busy showing his friends my house, cars, and everything, while his friends' children were dancing with Miley. Noah's family and I had had our dinner and had completely disregarded these strange people. Noah and Emily had also departed early after dinner. I was so dissatisfied with this party that I told Miley I needed to go upstairs to sleep. I urged Miley to conclude the party fast. Miley reassured me that she would handle this and instructed me to go upstairs to sleep. I had a headache and was enraged with Miley and her parents' weird friends, so I locked my room upstairs and went to bed. I woke up at about 3 a.m. from a bad dream, but Miley wasn't still in bed. So I went downstairs to see what was going on, and when I went downstairs and discovered that the entire house was in complete darkness with no lights on. I was furious to discover that the previous guests were still around and were lounging on the carpet and sofas. Miley was nowhere to be found, and neither were her parents. So I began looking in other rooms and found her parents were asleep in our guest room. I called Miley's phone to find out where she was, but as her phone started ringing, I realized that the sound was coming from another guest room, so I disconnected the connection and entered the room. When I opened the door, I was shocked to discover Miley alone in the room with some strange guy. The scene was so inappropriate that I lost my temper. I shot the video and then splashed water on Miley, who was surprised to find me there because she assumed I was tired and would wake up in the morning. I punched the guy and threw him out of my house after yelling and making a scene. When Miley's parents and other guests woke up from my shouting, Miley's father explained that it was all a misunderstanding and that the man was his friend's kid. I told him to shut up. When Miley cried and begged me to give her another chance, I slapped her. Yet, her father continued to offer weak explanations and claimed that I was overreacting, and I can't leave her for her one mistake. This man was so entitled. Now that I was wealthy, he was appalled at the thought of me leaving his daughter. He suggested that since it was a family matter, we could settle it in the morning without causing a scene in front of the guests. At this point I didn't care about his guests or his cheater daughter, so I kicked them all out at midnight update. I mailed divorce papers to Miley. It took me months to finalize this, but Noah and my other friends assisted me as my greedy father-in-law was blackmailing me for money, but thank goodness I had proof of his daughter's infidelity. Miley kept pleading with me for a chance. She had accepted her affairs and thought I would give her a chance if she confessed. She was blaming her father for everything, believing that if she blamed her father, I would forgive her. I had given her a chance when she displayed entitled behavior since it was her upbringing, but I can't forgive infidelity, as she is a grown woman and cheating is a choice. She was aware of what she was doing, and she is also accountable for her actions. Miley is experiencing issues with her parents since she is accustomed to a rich lifestyle with me. She continues to contact me, but I have no plans to reconcile. I'm happy with my life and dating Noah's sister, and I'm content with everything. Sometimes it's better to be by yourself than with greedy people. The greedy and entitled types of people are two types of people you can never coexist with. Thank you for listening to my story. Please comment with any views you may have about it, and please like my story and subscribe to this channel. A wonderful day to you.